Alcohol poisoning kills 2 in Mirigama. Palyagoda Fish Market to open under 2 phases from tomorrow. The Electoral College decisively confirms Joe Biden as the next president of the United States of America.
Hello there and welcome to Lunchtime News here on TV1. You're joining me, Devi Paldano. Now on to your headline-making stories this afternoon. Cabinet approval has been granted to remove provincial letters from vehicle number plates following a proposal put forward by the Minister of Transport.
According to a statement from the Department of Government Information, letters to identify provinces are added to the number plate when registering vehicles, which in turn makes it easy during the vehicular emission tests and annual revenue license issuance. It said the decision to eliminate the provincial letters was made as vehicle owners and the Department of Motor Traffic encounters many difficulties when number plates have to be converted when the ownership of vehicles are transferred between provinces. Cabinet approval has also been granted to classify Kitul as a main plantation crop in the country. Following the decision, a Kitul Development Board is expected to be established. Cabinet has also agreed to amend the Poisons, Opium and Dangerous Drugs Ordinance. A committee will be appointed to identify and recommend potential amendments to the ordinance in a bid to formulate laws which are more pertinent to the status quo. The committee will comprise of religious leaders, legal experts, members of the security forces and rehabilitation officers.
විශේෂයෙන්ම ඊයේ දවසේ දීර්ඝ වශයෙන් සාකච්ඡාවට ගැටුණු එක විෂයක් වුණේ පළාත් සභා මැතිවරණ.
Yesterday, the Cabinet extensively discussed the Provincial Council election and the 13th Amendment. The final decision we reached was to convene all party leaders, hold a discussion and thereafter to hold another Cabinet meeting following the outcome of the party leaders' meeting. The proposal was put forth by Minister Janaka Bandara Tennakon. He was asked to present the proposal once more. We decided to reach a final decision after all these discussions conclude.
අවසාන තීන්දුවක් ගන්න අපි ඒ ආකාරයේ තීන්දුවක් අරගෙන තියෙනවා තීරණයක් ගත්තා ඊයේ කැබිනට් මණ්ඩලය.
2 people who consumed alcohol in Mirigama have died.
A group of relatives had consumed moonshine following an almsgiving which was held after a funeral. 2 people had died after consuming the spirit, while another was admitted to the Mirigama base hospital. The deceased, aged 54 and 48, were siblings from Galnever. The individuals who were responsible for providing the spirit has been arrested by the Mirigama police.
පෙරේදා රාත්‍රී මීරිගම පොලිස් වසමේ මොට්ටෑවත්ත කීනදෙනිය ප්‍රදේශයේදී පුද්ගලයන්
4 people have consumed alcohol on the 13th of this month in Keendenia. The person who had provided the alcohol was a container driver working at a private company who often travels to the Colombo port. The deceased are siblings and they were aged 54 and 47 years. Their remains have been placed at the Mirigama and Varakapola hospitals. The Mirigama police has launched an investigation into the matter. Even on a prior occasion, 6 people from an area in the vicinity lost their lives after consuming alcohol. Authorities have identified a trend in deaths relating to alcohol poisoning.
ප්‍රදේශවලින් රැගෙන එන ස්ප්‍රීතු ආදිය පානය කිරීම නිසා ලංකාවේ එවැනි මත්පැන් විසවීමෙන් මරණ සිදුවීමේ ප්‍රවණතාවයක් දක්නට ලැබෙනවා.
A membership promotion program of the Samagi Jana Balawege was held in Dinuvara yesterday.
Leader of the Samagi Jana Balawege, opposition leader Sajid Premadasa, parliamentarian Buddhika Patirana and Chatura Galapatti were present at the event. As they won the election in 2019, they gave tax concessions to the rich in the month of December. They have lost an income due to the government to the tune of 600 to 800 billion rupees. And now figures are coming out that this amount could even go up to $1 trillion. They gave tax concessions to billionaires. As of now, 53% of our national income is enjoyed by the ultra-rich class of the country. While the ultra-rich enjoys 53% of our national income, the poorest 20% of our country is entitled to only a meager 4.5% of national income.
The Palyagoda Fish Market will be reopened tomorrow under 2 phases.
දවස් 55ක් අපේ අක්‍රිය වෙලා තිබුණේ මාළු මත්ස්‍ය වෙළඳ සැල.
The fish market was not open for 55 days. Until the renovation of the fish market is complete, 154 stalls will operate on separate days. We have prepared the fish market for wholesalers to trade on the 16th from 2 a.m. to 8 a.m. As businessmen, we request the consumers not to come to the fish market as there is only a limited amount of fish to be sold to wholesalers.
සීමිත මත්ස්‍ය සම්පත දීවරයන්ගේ ගේන්න ඒ වගේම සිල්ලර කට්ටිය මේකට පැමිණීම වලකින්න කියලා කරුණාවෙන් ඉල්ලා සිටිනවා.
An 8-year-old child has drowned in the Deduruoya.
The deceased has been identified as Binura Satsara, a grade 4 student of Digampitiya Piyaratana Mahavidyalaya in Kurunegala. The residents of the area and relatives have begun searching for the child who was missing since last evening. When the child's bicycle and a pair of flip-flops were found near the Deduruoya, the residents of the area began searching for the child by diving into the Deduruoya.
The child had been with a group of fishermen and had been playing on a rock. Once they were done fishing, all they had seen was the child's flip-flops.
Further investigations into the incident are currently underway.
Director General of the Department of Archaeology, Dr. Senara Disanaika, held a media briefing yesterday.
විශේෂයෙන්ම අපි දෙපාර්තමේන්තුවක් හැටියට අපේ නීති නිලධාරීන්ට උපදෙස් දුන්නා
We instructed the officials to remove the particular construction which was built by those who destroyed the artifacts. We also ordered them to take steps to preserve the historic building once more. We believe we can minimize the damage caused to the fort. The Pulagama police has filed cases over this matter. We have amended our ordinance to ensure that such incidences do not occur in the future. We have proposed the highest possible fine for such a crime, which was at 250,000 to be increased to 5 million.
මිලියන 5ක් දක්වා ඒ කියන්නේ ලක්ෂ 50ක් දක්වා වැඩි කරන්න අපි අලුත් පනත යෝජනා කරනවා.
Leader of the indigenous community, Uruvarige Vanilatto, expressed the following views to the media in Dabana.
මේ පරිසරයේ ආරක්ෂා කරන බඳු කරගන්න ඕන පරිසරයේ තිබෙන්න ඕන පරිසරයේ තිබවුවොත් තමයි මිනිස් ගජ්ජුන්ට ජීවත් වෙන බඳු වෙන්නේ.
There is a complication in the country in terms of preserving our environment at present. Our lives will be protected if the environment is protected. I went to the rivers of the Rambakan Oya after my tribesmen came to me and asked me to look into it. A mass deforestation has taken place there. We need to preserve this country for generations to come. But at this rate, it seems like we will not be able to survive in the future.
සංවර්ධනයේ මන්ද වෙන්න ඕන මිනිස් ගජ්ජු ජීවත් වෙන මන්ද වෙන්න ඕන මිනිස් ගජ්ජු ආරක්ෂා වෙන මන්ද වෙන්නත් ඕන.
The foundation stone for the construction of the new base workshop building of the Sri Lanka Electrical and Mechanical Engineers Regiment was held in Kosgama last week to coincide with the 71st anniversary of the regiment.
The foundation stone was laid by Commander of the Sri Lanka Army, Lieutenant General Shavendra Silva. A number of combat vehicles designed and manufactured by the Electrical and Mechanical Engineering Regiment were on display during the event. Several weapons innovated by the regiment were also on display.
The Made in Sri Lanka brand will be launched in Colombo in a bid to promote local products.
A media briefing was held yesterday to create awareness on the brand, which will be launched later today.
Made in Sri Lanka කියන සන්නාමය අපි එලි දැක්වීමක් ආරම්භ කරනවා. මේ සන්නාමය
We will launch the Made in Sri Lanka brand. We intend to encourage and recognize local entrepreneurs and businessmen through this brand. We will also ensure consumers know that the product they purchase will be 100% Sri Lankan. We will commence a web of shops named Made in Sri Lanka. We have realized it is our responsibility to create a marketplace for this segment while resolving the economic crisis.
අපේ ලොකු වගකීමක් කියලා දේශීය නිෂ්පාදනයක් කියලා සලකන්න පුළුවන් එකකට made in.
We intend to color code these products. If a product is 100% made in Sri Lanka, it will bear a distinctive color code. And products which are partially manufactured in Sri Lanka will be color coded differently. We have appointed a specialist committee which will review these products and provide a relevant code.
ඉදිරිපත් වෙන ඒ දේශීය නිෂ්පාදන යොමු කරලා තමයි අපි මේ සන්නාමය ඉදිරිපත් ලබා දීම පිළිබඳව තීරණ ගැනීම සිදු කෙරෙන්නේ.
Leader of the Janasatha Perumana, Venerable Silaratna Thero, expressed these views in Matara.
අපේ රටේ ඉන්න නායකයෝ ටික ඔක්කොම
The leaders of our country are trying to sell our national resources. When we speak about these things, we are branded as wrongdoers. The lands in the country are completely sold to foreigners. During the run-up to the election, they spoke about rebuilding our country and punishing the corrupt. But thieves aren't nabbed. The thieves are in parliament. The ministers who have been appointed are working to destroy the country.
හොරු ටික දැන් ගෙදර නිදැල්ලේ ඉන්නවා මේ හොරු ටික දැන් පාර්ලිමේන්තුවේ කෑ ගහනවා.
Here are some of the views that were expressed at a media briefing convened by the JVP.
The sale of the East Container Terminal at the Colombo Port, further demarcations are being done to lease off 6 acres of land in the Galle harbour for 35 years. Lands, including the land on which the police barracks in Galle are situated, are to be leased off for 99 years. You know that the Colombo Port is one of the main ports in Asia. The Colombo Port is ranked 22nd among the most important ports in the world. It is on the Silk Route, and its geographic location is also ideal. Just like the CICT terminal was given to China and SAGT was privatized, this government is trying to give 85% of the ECT to the Adani Group in India and say that the Ports Authority had ownership over 15% of the terminal. These are namesake ownerships.
The Ministry of Health has issued a directive on vehicle transporting passengers. According to the directive issued under the signature of the Director General of Health Services, passenger transport vehicles can only transport passengers according to the seating capacity of the vehicle. Furthermore, no passengers will be allowed to travel while standing when the vehicle is in motion. Now on to international news. Joe Biden has said the will of the people prevailed after his presidential election victory was confirmed by the US Electoral College. That we wrap up lunchtime news here on TV1. For more news, log on to our award-winning website, that is www.newsfirst.lk. For the Newsfirst team, I'm David Paldano. Take care.